Where do I even begin with Misfits Clix? Tournament Slayer? Check. Popping Twitch streamer and content creator? Check. Wager warrior? Ding ding ding. And if you've been around the Twitch scene at all during the past few months, then you know that Clix has been a pioneer for the wager scene in Fortnite. He's been going pretty hard with wagers, wagering hundreds and hundreds of people on his stream over the past couple of months and making a lot of money in the process. And just recently, Clix hit an amazing milestone by winning 100 wagers in a row. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down just how Clix is able to have so much success in box fights, especially in these high pressure circumstances. But before the video begins, I just have one thing to ask of you guys. Make sure to leave a like on this video if you're excited, and if you like the content that I provide and want to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell while you're at it, and you'll never miss a thing. With that said, let's just jump into the last fight that Clix had on his journey to 100 wins in a row. He was playing against professional Fortnite player Bucky FPS. You guys probably know him. He qualified for the World Cup and he plays for the professional team Envy.
No builds.
Okay.
Needless to say, after winning 100 wagers in a row, Clix has to be rolling in the dough. He secured the bag, all the while streaming it to his Twitch platform to thousands of viewers, which gave us some really cool insights and allowed us to share in the journey with him. But more importantly than that, I think there's a lot to be gained from a player development aspect as well. If you guys are watching my channel, that means you're probably trying to advance yourself as a player. That's basically the entire purpose for my channel. I share tips, tricks, current events, meta changes, all that kind of stuff to hopefully make you guys a better player. And that's exactly why I wanted to break down exactly how Clix was able to do such a historic feat. And who knows, maybe some of you guys out there might just be able to take all these tips, tricks, grind it out on the battlefield, and use it to play at the highest level competitively, whether it be tournaments, whether it be wagers, whatever the case may be. These videos are going to help you get from point A to point B. And step number one for me is realizing that Clix has something special going on here. I mean, he played 100 sweaty lobbies in a row with people that were coming for his throat game after game, round after round, and he was able to prevail every single time. And don't even get me started with the amount of pressure that's involved with doing something like this. Clix, he wasn't just going against random 50 pots every single game. He was really challenged by going against top players like Bucky, Zexro, Muffin, and so many more that I can't even count. So just how was he able to do it? Well, let's get into it right now. First and foremost, this goes kind of without saying, but Clix, he obviously has very cracked mechanics. And if you watch Clix's stream at all, he always talks about how he grows as a player by grinding and practicing for 10+ hours a day. I'm saying this first just to get it out of the way because, you know, this is not rocket science. The more you practice, the better you get at the game. And mechanics is definitely a key part at being one of the top players in Fortnite. But if I were to sit here and tell you that if you just practice a bunch, you could get as good as Clix, I think that I would be first off lying to you, and second off not really teaching you anything with this video. Instead, I think it's really important that we look one step deeper and really understand what makes Clix different from other professional players that allows him to win so many wagers in a row. And for me, the first thing that pops out when I think of why Clix is so much better is the fact that he's consistently able to execute the best play possible. And that, obviously, you have to have good mechanics for it, but even more so than that, you need to have solid game sense and awareness to make the best decisions on the fly. Because I think that even Clix would admit, although his mechanics are top tier, professional level, there are many pros out there that can do exactly what Clix does on a mechanical level. What defines Clix as a player is not only the fact that he could execute practically any play flawlessly, but also the fact that he could choose the right decision in the fraction of a second. And when you're box fighting many top tier opponents, a fraction of a second is the difference between getting a kill and getting killed. It's a dog eat dog world out there, and my friends, Clix, he is a killing machine when it comes to box fighting. Although this video isn't specifically meant to be an analysis video, I do want to break down one clip from Clix during his 100 win wager streak to kind of explain what I'm talking about. Right now you're watching Clix take on Zexro early on into his 100 wager streak. Clix is just one round away from taking home $100 and the win.
outplayed.
And as you guys just saw, Clix made a really smart decision after Zexro took his wall. Instead of panicking and running away, Clix instead decided to make an incredibly smart engagement against Zexro, phasing through his ramp and allowing himself to take the first shot and get the elimination. And there are so many other 200 IQ big brain plays that Clix does on a daily basis. That, in addition to the fact that he executes so flawlessly, sometimes makes it hard for regular people like you and I to actually pick up on what exactly he's doing to win the fight. Now, the other side of the equation is at least just as important, if not way more important than everything else we discussed earlier in this episode. And that is the fact that this guy simply just doesn't know how to choke. Or rather, I should say that this guy has a really good way about dealing with high pressure situations. If I were a betting man, I would attribute a lot of Clix's success to the fact that he's able to clutch up and he doesn't choke in situations that obviously have a lot of pressure behind them. And Clix talks about just this when he was on an ESPN interview during the World Cup. In this video I'm about to show, it's pretty obvious that Clix knows how important it is to not get nervous.
So, well, I mean, there's thousands of people here as we record this. Now, you had a chance to walk around the fan festival here and see the giant stage inside Arthur Ashe where the US Open is played, right? What was that like? What were you thinking when you saw that for the first time?
Well, obviously I'm mind blown. I'm shocked. There's so many people are going to be packed. Thousands of people are going to be there. I don't know. It's just mind blowing. Hopefully I don't get too nervous, but if I don't get nervous, I should be able to pop off and place top 3.
Tfue is somebody who's really calm under pressure, right? Like, no matter what you throw at Tfue, he just seems to be so even keel when he's competing. Did he give you any advice on how to handle the crowd or those pressure situations?
Yeah, he just told me, like, act like no one's there, act like you're just playing at your normal setup, and yeah, I took that as advice.
And I know a lot of you guys are thinking, wow, this is a lot easier said than done. And although I 100% agree with you, I want you to think about it like this. How many Clixes are there in this entire world? No, I'm not tricking you guys or anything. There really is only one Clix. But the thing is, there's only a few other people in this world, and I could probably count on my hands that can replicate what Clix does to the same amount of success. Hey, nobody said that becoming the best was going to be easy, but you're here, and that's step number 1. And for me personally, it took me a little bit of time before I realized that Clix was the real deal. Clix absolutely burst into the competitive scene after qualifying for the World Cup 5 times over. But I still had my reserves. Was he overrated, or did he really live up to all the hype? And he did have some respectable finishes at the World Cup, finishing 18th place in the solo finals. And we don't talk about the duo finals. Skeptic, you're a bot. I'm kidding. I love you, Skeptic. But for me, I realized that Clix was actually a force to be reckoned with after the World Cup, specifically at TwitchCon 2019. You see, I was able to watch Clix live, and it was only then that I was able to realize that this guy, he was a monster and he was a machine. I was sitting in the front row, not even 100 feet away from the man himself. Oh, and like 2 feet to my left, I was sitting right next to Booga's parents, so that was cool as well. Weird flex, but okay. Anyways, the tournament itself was going pretty smooth, nothing too much to report from Clix until he had this absolutely bonkers 1v3 clutch against arguably the best players in the NA West region.
That's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They have so much
congestion.
Oh, he gets the trap. That's 3 tags. Edgy goes down. That's sent it. Edgy. Oh my goodness, Clix.
You are a monster. Clix just single-handedly did 500 plus damage, takes out 3 by himself. That is what Clix does.
You see, I use this clip as an example specifically to point out the fact that this guy can react to a change in circumstances almost instantly. I mean, it's obvious that he doesn't do anything insanely mechanically cracked. He places a trap pretty quickly, boxes the people off, and then finishes them off with some AR/pump spam. But the point is, Clix didn't expect to land in a box with one of the best trios in the world. The fact that Clix was able to so quickly realize that there was no roof in the box, and then subsequently execute on it by placing a trap and then blocking everybody off by placing that wall, man, that's not something you see every day. Obviously, that's a very anecdotal example, but that's my opinion, and hopefully you guys can understand where I'm coming from. To recap, we can pinpoint a few different areas in which Clix thrives that you need to be replicating in your own game if you want to see the same amount of success. First off, and again it's pretty obvious, but his mechanics are so cracked that whenever he needs to make a specific edit, he doesn't have to worry about whether his mechanics are going to fail him or not. Secondly, being able to couple those really solid mechanics with good decision making is really important and allows him to thrive above his competition. Finally, Clix realizes that getting nervous isn't going to get him anywhere in life. Instead, he plays any situation the same, whether it be at the World Cup main stage or just box fighting against friends. And honestly, no matter what game you're playing, as long as you're comfortable, that's going to allow you to play at your absolute best. To become the best, you need to be inspired by and learn from people that are already in the position that you want to be. Clix offers some rather interesting insights into the game of Fortnite, and you guys can easily apply it to your game as long as you're actively thinking about these 3 main points. With that said, if you've made it to this point in the video, I really appreciate it. Make sure to go and leave a like if you did enjoy. When you like my video, the YouTube algorithm allows me to show my video to a lot more people, and I want to give these tips and tricks to as many people as humanly possible. And if you'd like to see more content just like this, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. As always, I'm your friend Hindog, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.